We got a special guest here today. Her name is Jasmine Purkiss.
Right now, I make sustainable pieces.
Okay.
I was just in my first fashion show. I hosted it personally too, which was insane. But I'm telling you, the moment I started posting the things that I was making, and then I was selling it, and I was like, I made this 2 years ago, and I just sold it for over $100. In New Smyrna, I was a preschool teacher.
Any crazy stories with the kids, real quick?
Yeah, this one little country, he had asked me why I had dirt on my skin, and. You know,
So how'd you manage that little bit? All right, well, welcome back to the Otown Talk. We had a little bit of a mess up in our intro, just some low energy on my part. I'm sorry about that. I gotta just admit to it.
We're not pointing fingers.
If you're coming back, thank you for coming back. We are pointing fingers. It was right here.
It was Vince's fault.
But if you're coming back, thank you for coming back. Thank you for tuning in as always. Any new viewers, thank you for coming in.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to love the pod, so stick around. It's a great one. Now, I can really say that because we already shot it, and
it was a great
we're back in time.
podcast.
That shit was fire. So
was
stick
awesome.
around. Make sure you drop a like. Dislike it if you don't like it.
Comment.
And if you're new here, you watch all the way through, you like what you're seeing, make sure you subscribe as well, and enjoy.
Turn the notifications on too. Enjoy the
Always.
podcast.
New podcast every Wednesday, baby. Woo! 12 o'clock.
Let's go.
We got a special guest here today. Her name is Jasmine Purkiss, and we work together at a bar in good old Otown, and that's how we connected. She's got a lot of insight on some, personal growth, business ventures, marketing ventures, and yeah, let's just hop on in. Jazz.
Go.
So,
hello.
Welcome, Jazz.
Welcome.
Hi.
Jazz.
Welcome to the Otown Talk.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And again, my name is Jasmine Purkiss. I am the co-founder of Untamed Culture.
Woo.
That is a sustainable fashion brand. I built the company in 2020, and I've had a lot of different trials and tribulations, which has got me to put it more on the forefront now. And I'm here to share my stories with you. And I'm so happy to be here. Once again, I know I said it already.
Thank you for coming.
So right off the rip, you actually shocked me right there. Co-founder? I thought you were the sole founder.
Yes. So in 2020, I want to speak on this as well, actually. In 2020, I had a business partner. And we worked together for about 5 months, very, very strategic. We were doing different things. We just had different views as far as how to go about the business. There was one point, because she's a fashionista as well, but she curates the clothing. Like, she has an eye for it. Like, you would want to get it from a boutique and you'd buy it, right?
Gotcha.
Me, I like making things and I like creating things in that realm. So it was a duality thing, but she also is very into construction, architecture, and so she ended up moving back to her hometown. So it was on the back burner for a little bit, and then I took sole ownership of the company myself.
Did you have to buy her out, or did she just let you have it?
No, I just had it because the majority of the things that I was putting out for Untamed Culture was solely my ideas, so it just ended up becoming my own company.
No, was anything in writing, or was all this just like under?
So we opened it up together. We went through Sunbiz. We had our EIN. We had a bank account together as well. And then it all, and we're still really good friends. We're going to be traveling together soon as well. So that's why it's really cool to be in business with your friends. So I think that's what helped me get it off the ground to begin with.
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't for her, God bless her soul, I probably wouldn't be where I am today with the company, because it just gave me a lot more confidence to, do a lot more.
Right.
When you don't have that initially, if you don't have the community with you, it's a little harder to go out there and do it.
For sure.
So that's one thing that I'm very grateful for. The name Untamed Culture, I did come up with myself. So,
I was going to ask, how'd you come up with that name?
Yeah, it's a really cool story in a sense. My mother, she's a great businesswoman. We were sitting at the dining room table. It was me, my friend, the old co-founder, and my mother, and we were just like spitting different names and different things we wanted to, like how to create a company. And I just said, because I've always been the type of person that doesn't like to be confided or put in a box if you could say that.
Mhm.
And so I just like, how about Untamed Culture? And they both were like, it was like silent. And then I was like, I love that name. And for me, it means a lot because it kind of just puts you into a space where you can understand other people and not put them in a box. Because like you said, if you don't accept somebody to grow and you don't accept them for who they are,
Right.
it becomes very, very, very problematic. And so
Mhm.
that's something that I want to spread awareness to as well in the name itself. And I guess like when you hear the name, you kind of can configure what it is in a sense.
You have an idea of what.
Right.
Mhm.
And I do want to unfold the company into a lot more deeper things as I grow it as well.
What do you have in mind?
Thank you for asking.
And what do you
So,
what do you
let's-
have currently? 'Cause-
Currently, I
yeah,
would love
yeah.
to talk on this too.
All right,
So
perfect.
right now I make sustainable pieces.
Okay.
I was just in my first fashion show at
That's so
Blue-
exciting.
yeah at the bar that we worked together at.
We're
They-
definitely
it
diving into
was-
that. I got some questions
They
on that.
hosted a
for sure.
fashion show.
I hosted it personally too, which is
Oh
was
my
it was
gosh.
insane to
That's
have that much.
incredible.
Yeah, to have that much, to have that leadership role and to be depended on. And then it was so many different moving parts, and it taught me so much. And it taught me that people are actually out there to help you and look out for you too. And, it takes a community at the end of the day. And once you put yourself out there, it inspires other people to put themselves out there.
Exactly.
And then the ball just keeps rolling, keeps rolling, keeps rolling. And now I have a community that I would have never imagined if I didn't put myself out there initially.
That's
and
awesome.
For Untamed Culture, I also produced a product. It's called the Cultured Cubs. So I say it's the home of the Cultured Cubs as well. Now, the Cultured Cubs, they're sustainable stuffed animal backpacks.
Oh,
and they
okay.
all
Actually
have-
sick.
They
Yeah.
all have their own personality because I put shades on them. They're hater blockers.
That's tight.
It's gauged more for people that go to festivals and concerts. I had my
Okay.
own personal one. It was a panda bear. It's funny because I got this backpack from Animal Kingdom at Disney. I didn't make that original one, but I put glasses on it. And I named him George. And then I was at EDC, and this girl was next to me. She was like, "Wow, he's quite the gentleman." And then that's where it was birthed. When I was like, "Wow, if I actually put personal names to them, it will like create more of like a connection."
More personal connection to the.
So
That's
yeah, for my-
smart.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
a really smart idea.
And so I started calling him George the Gentleman. And then that's what kind of unbirthed, when I made new backpacks, I would, have more different, I'd have more personality behind it. Like I made a Horton one. And I was like, Horton, here's a wub. If you're like in the EDM world or anything like that.
What is
like,
wub?
it's a, I'd call it a, like an oblong shape, if you will. I call it an oblong sound.
Oh.
So
I can
it's
see where you're
very
going with that.
different. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
how
it
I
is.
think of like a wub. And from there, it went crazy. I thought it was gonna be more geared towards women or like children. Guys are buying my cubs. Like
No, I was
crazy.
literally
And
gonna
I was
ask.
like,
I was gonna ask if you could make me a gym bag out of that.
Yo,
like a duffel
like a
bag?
duffel? I
Yeah.
definitely. What's your favorite animal?
Probably a lion for sure.
Wow,
Lion.
that'd be tight.
Yeah.
I've got you.
Oh, that would be cool.
I'm
It's
hyped.
gotta be kind of big though. Like
I'm
here.
hyped. I understand.
I
I
can
understand.
totally see
I
Vince
got
in
you.
the
Hell
gym.
yeah.
And that's something. So I've been perfecting it. I've learned so much as I'm going. How to different types of thread that you can use to hold different types of pounds. Like this is something that I didn't know at first. Like I was using like embroidery floss and things like that. And it's just crazy to see like how much I've grown because I've been putting myself out there. I learned about this because I went to the Singer sewing shop that's right on Orlando Ave. And you meet people in there that are creatives as well. So it's just that's why I love Orlando so much because people are willing to communicate with you. And it's awesome. So
O-Town, baby.
O-Town. We love O-Town. I've been here for 5 years and it's changed me so much as a person and in the best way possible.
That's awesome.
In the best way
I feel
possible.
like you don't hear that a lot. A lot of people who are from Orlando say like,
Hate
"Oh,
it.
I hate Orlando. I want to get out of here. It's
Yeah.
so dirty. It's
You
so
know-
It
bad
actually is
for
funny.
you."
Yeah, a lot of people from here really do say that.
Hey, but we love it.
It's
I
ungrateful.
love Orlando.
Ungrateful.
Ungrateful.
I genuinely
And you
do
know
love
the
Orlando.
beauty of Orlando? If there's a problem, you can actually put yourself into the situation and develop something and build something here. Because
yeah,
if it's
100%.
not here, and that's why I love it so much.
Yeah, there is a lot of opportunity
There's
here.
so much opportunity here. I've been pulling up to the markets daily, and
The markets?
yes, so that's
Like-
where like the vendor
Like-
markets.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
I
like
love
pop-ups or
those.
like whatever, right? Kind of.
Yes,
Like
sort
the
of.
farmers
yes,
markets?
yes. Well, I do the Florida Vintage Market. They're based in Orlando about twice a month, and every time I go, the amount of support, love, and just different ideas. People will thank me for my creativity, and I'm like, that's crazy. Growing up, I've always been into making my own clothing. I've always been into expressing myself, but because I was so focused on the books, I didn't really make it a highlight of my life. I just always thought it was like, I just do this, and I enjoyed it. But I wouldn't tell people that I made these items. Like I would pop up to school and I'd have I remember one time I screen printed Drake's album when it first came out in 2013. Like I wore it every single day in freshman year, and like I just made it. And then I started doing I'd start making memes and putting them on different sweatshirts and T-shirts, and I would just wear them to school. And then there came a phase when Galaxy was huge, I'd paint my shoes the Galaxy shoes, or I'd have it on my T-shirt, and I'd paint everything. And I did the moon phases. I was because I've always been into like stars and stuff, and so that was always a part of what I like to do. But I didn't hyper focus on it because being in a small town, everybody thought I was that nerd, you know what I'm saying? In the books.
Of course, yeah.
And then oh, Jasmine just hit her first bong. Whoa, no way. It was one of those, So when you're put in that, you don't really you don't really truly see what you like to do. But that's why I like to reflect on what I've done.
Right.
It's more of a full circle moment. So that's where I came from.
So you started initially realizing your love for fashion already at that time.
Yes. Okay. And then when I moved out here to Orlando, I began painting more on jeans, and I would always paint on jeans, but I'd wear them for myself. But people would really, really like them. But I never had it in my head that I'm I can do this and I can actually make a profit off of this.
Mass produce and stuff.
Yes. Because I just, I was just doing it for myself because I was really in the books. And I was, going to school, and my end game at that point in time was I want to be a doctor. But I still want to help people, but now I'm learning how I want to do it, which is freaking awesome. So clothing has always been a big part of my life. I've always been going to thrift shops since a little girl.
Oh, okay.
So because I have 4 other siblings, I have a twin, 2 younger siblings, a girl and a boy, and then my older brother. And with that, we didn't make the most money. We were middle class, so as far as splurging, shopping sprees and all that, it wasn't on rotation. So I'd, save all my own money when I was 16 years old, and I'd always go to the local thrift shops, and then I would get those clothing, and then I'd flip them for myself. And senior year, we actually had uniforms, which was bull to me. It was bullshit. It was bullshit.
We know too much about.
Hey, I had uniforms all the way through. I went to a private middle school and a private high school.
Yes.
I forgot you had to wear it even high school.
It was tough.
Yeah.
Tough world.
And even with that, I did learn that I'm wait, I can still do this. And I was looking mad fly my senior year. I really was. I was stepping out. But
so
funny?
Wait.
They used to call me the middle class Michelle Obama.
How were you messing with the uniforms?
It would be layering, and I'd throw different concepts into the uniform itself. You wouldn't think that I was going to school,
That's pretty sick.
I'd still be in dress code, because there's some that would just say bump the dress code, and they would be dress coded, but I would never be dress coded, but I would look fly. So it would be a matter of layering, and because I've always liked that. I've always liked wearing different accessories and ways. I got voted one of my classes best dress. But it was uniforms. How you do that? You know what I'm saying?
That's a big one. Yeah.
Now that
It's like a sign though. It's like a calling, and it's ironic because you're doing fashion now. You have such a big passion for it, and for you to win that, that's just motivation for you to actually go ahead and move forward with actually doing it. Yeah. At least I would think. I don't know if that's what actually happened.
Correct. So I love reflecting on things like these because it just shows, you got to trust the signs. You have to trust the signs, and that's something that I value heavily.
You gotta believe in yourself too.
I remember.
Come on, correct.
Correct. I remember you were telling me you were a little shy to market your clothing at first.
Yes.
So you were really already out there.
Biggest struggles. That was one of the big because I wouldn't tell anybody that I did it.
Yeah, I remember you told me.
Biggest struggles. It was one of the biggest struggles for me, and that's something I'm still overcoming. But that's
why is that such a struggle?
Community is very important to you and who you surround yourself with.
What is it that you're worried about?
So for me, it was a sense of like me like losing myself, my identity, and like, oh, I'm in the books constantly. I should be doing A, B, and C. Why are you creating? Like I didn't quite value or think that it was something that I deserved in a sense. If that's, I don't know if that's weird, but like I would beat myself up. I do a lot of negative self-talk.
So you kind of felt like
I was in that era, but I've left it. I was in a season of just like self-doubt.
Would you say you kind of felt like you were getting out of your lane? Like you were.
I just like being secretive with certain things for some reason.
When it comes to fashion, it's more understandable. At least me personally, I was actually telling Nick this. We just recently went to a concert and we were getting some of the merchandise, and I was looking at the shirts, and I was trying to pick out the most unique one because I'm the type of person, I don't know why, I try and have stuff that other people don't have. Like and I know you would appreciate that. So that's like genuinely like that's how I literally like go about like how I try and dress per se. Like might not be like that all the time, but especially
you definitely got unique style though.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's what I genuinely try and go for. Like if I'm going out shopping at like a mall or wherever it may be, I try and find obviously like within my style, but like I'm like, haven't seen anyone with this. Don't think I'll probably see anyone with this.
And it looks fly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
I want your baseball cap. Yeah. I was like that off rip. I saw that. I was
appreciate
like, I need that.
Thank you. Go Magic first and foremost. But thank you. But that's how. Yeah, I knew you would hopefully appreciate that because that's exactly how I try and be.
That's really, really dope. That's really, really dope.
So
that's what, going thrifting and seeing all these one of a kind pieces.
Right.
It just inspired me even more. I was like, I feel like I'm in my bag. And then the biggest thing for me, I'd be in my mom and my dad's closet all the time, be my parents' closet. So I'd wear a lot of their things. To this day, my dad has beef with me because I took one of his, I actually transformed one of his marijuana shirts into like this sick ass jacket. I haven't sold it yet because I want to keep it for myself. So it comes to a point when you're creating things and like you make something and you don't want to sell it. Right, so I was in that bag too. But I'm telling you, the moment I started posting the things that I was making, and then I was selling it, and I was like, I made this 2 years ago, and I just sold it for over $100.
Right.
Why was I sitting on it for this long? It's because I didn't want to give it away. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I didn't think that people wanted to buy it for the price I was putting it out there. Right. But it's only and then I started making more. I was like, wait, I put a hell of time into this. I'm passionate about it. Like it is what it is. And
it's valued. I mean, that's what's cool about like designing is it's valued at what you believe it's valued at. It's kind of like selling an art piece.
I was just thinking that's literally what I was just about to say. Correct. It's like art. I mean, you essentially determine the price. I mean, that's what makes it kind of even more unique.
And then if people start buying it, you confirm that it was a good price.
Exactly. Yeah. You can start selling more of them.
Yes. I'm in the headspace too. I like curating timeless pieces. So
right.
To me, stuffed animals are timeless. They're gonna be here.
Yeah. They've
but
been
when we're
here
gone.
forever. Literally.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's like why I love what I'm doing with that aspect. And I know we were on that topic a little earlier. It's like, what do you want to do with untamed culture? Mm-hmm. So that name in itself, it just reminds me of, like, I love helping kids. Like, that's always been my thing. Like, previously, I was a preschool teacher. I was obsessed with this. In New Smyrna, I was a preschool teacher. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what you had to go through.
I was getting jumped by these damn kids. That's what I'll have done, and it's okay. I probably won't have kids.
Real quick, any crazy stories with the kids? Real quick.
Yeah, real quick. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, really.
This one little country, I'm pretty sure his parents were redneck, but he had asked me why I had dirt on my skin, and
what the hell?
I had to move with grace. I had to move with grace in this one, But
that's
I'm telling you, these
crazy. Because they got no filter.
They have no filter.
Yeah.
They don't.
They have no filter. And
there's no
will humble you. So luckily, my
I was not prepared.
So I thought y'all on the floor. I wasn't saying shit.
Jasmine came out swinging like, "Oh, you want to hear a story? Wait to hear this shit, dude." No fucking way. No, dude.
So how'd you manage that little shit?
My great coworker had came in and she just like. She settled down because she was black too, and so she was like, "Listen, this is who we are. We have different skin tones than you, so we're gonna be a little bit darker because we're not the same." but like as far as skin tones go, I'm just saying a gist of what she said. This was like I was I think 17 at the time.
Should have gave him the life lesson.
Yeah, don't be much. I was on the floor, mind you. So I was like, I'm
a preschool teacher at 17.
Yeah, so the program at my high school, we were trained to teach, and we were doing lessons. Like I got certified.
Wow.
I was certified
That's
to
so
teach
cool.
because I started like freshman year, so I was able to teach the preschoolers. So that's why I've always had a passion for teaching, and then it went into for Untamed Culture. This is what I want to share. Like marketing is great. Listen, get somebody to interview you, and when you are being questioned different things. You'll see how it unfolds. Mm-hmm. So I was getting interviewed at one of the first markets I was in. I was getting interviewed, and I had mentioned that I wanted to start teaching people in juvenile detention centers how to sew, like different skills like that. Because some of my friends, they work in a juvenile detention center. One works as a therapist, one works as like the counselor. And they were just explaining to me that there's no outlet for them. There's no extracurricular activities. Wow, that word just ate me alive. That there was nothing out there for them, but they're very, very, very smart. They're very creative, and I know what it feels like to come from a crazy home life in a sense, you know. So I can only imagine what they're going through, especially if you're in juvenile detention.
Right.
So I had that interview. Not even 2.5 months later, I got put into a position to work at a community center to teach the children how to sew. Yeah, and so I'm like, that's another step forward to what I actually want to do. So I think it's very brilliant. And to me, I look at them as the Untamed Culture as well, you know,
right,
in a sense, but it's more of like a beautiful thing.
Right.
So
that's awesome.
what's your mission here? Are you on a mission to be wealthy as shit, or are you on the mission to help as many people as you can help?
Or is it like both?
It's definitely both, because me, I'm a bougie girl. I'm not gonna settle for, you know.
I mean, being in the fashion industry.
Yeah,
I would think.
I like the nicer things in life, but I also want other people to experience the nicer things in life too, because everyone deserves that. It doesn't have to be like someone's at the top, and because I'm at the top, you're doing all my footwork, but you're not going to be compensated for it.
For sure.
You know, and
exactly.
that's.
But
like,
do you have a primary focus?
A primary focus?
Would you give up helping people to become wealthy, or would you give up wealth to help people?
Ooh. That's a good question.
Ooh. Okay, so that's a great question. I let that sizzle in my
Think about the
spirit
kids.
for a second. So right now, like at the
remember what that kid said to you now.
Come on,
bro. I'm saying,
fuck them kids,
bro. God, like.
So I love that question because money will tempt you, and then when you're put in a position when you have a lot of money, it's interesting what you can spend it on. You know?
Yeah.
For me, I always give back 10% of whatever I have to others, no matter what. No matter what I make, because it fucking matters. Oh, excuse my language, but it matters.
No, you can cuss on here.
I understand. I know I've seen the podcast.
Cuss all the fuck you want.
Like, yes. So, money to me, like, for example, my aunt, she's a millionaire. But she is fucking, like, she's great. She's taught me so much. She's taught me so much.
What does she do?
She is a software engineer, and she worked in the corporate world for a very long time, but now she owns her own business where she helps different businesses with building websites, coding, and financial advice. So that's what she does now. And I was under her wing in 2021 when I was selling solar. I was like doing both. I was wilding. Solar, don't do it, kids, unless you're a great salesman. You'll make a lot of money. Damn, where was I? So yeah.
Fuck the kids.
So wealth, or would you give it up? For me, I think that there is a world where I've never been in a place where I had to want for more. I was blessed enough, even though, like, you know, my family was middle class, but in that sense, but we didn't want for anything in a sense. And that's what my parents always instilled in me. And I've seen examples, if you work hard, you'll get what you need.
Right.
And giving back, you're just going to come back to you at the end of the day. So I don't see picking one or the other, because I think wealth is instilled in me because of my values. So I'm able to help other people and fill them up. Like I don't ever feel like I don't have a poor mindset, if that makes sense. So I don't see myself, if I was really down bad, like homeless asking for change, it's because I'm not doing something to fulfill somebody else.
Sure. Right.
So that's
that's what I thought you were going to say.
Listen,
but I agree too.
But I appreciate that question because it's something that I've never really been asked, but it's important. Like, I don't know. I just don't have the mindset of like, oh, I'm broke. You know? I don't have that mindset.
What I thought you were going to say was like, if you're broke, there's a reason you're broke and it's like your fault. You know what I mean? For the most part, you know, obviously people are like born into like shitty situations, but it's their choice to stay in them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
right.
so,
but it's really the world that we live in too. It's really
it's hard
to even get a place to stay. Like, you know, and there's just so many different problems in the world that I'm like, I want to help, but it's like, you have to focus on something, right?
But the thing is, I feel like if someone's done it, you can too.
Yeah.
You know, and someone has done it everywhere. You know, in every avenue, from every aspect.
And
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be transparent here. There's some, like, I want to help homeless people in a sense, but there's some that I'm like, you get on my damn nerves, bro.
Oh yeah.
And I'm being transparent here, and it's shitty to say sometimes, but I mean, I've been like sexually assaulted by one, and I'm not saying like in a
like
sexual,
you?
like you grab me on
Groped.
the ass,
Yeah,
grope me on the ass as I'm walking in Gotham City downtown. Like,
that's crazy. Good thing you box now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't fuck with me. That's
What'd you do?
Different things. So
did you hit him?
Call
No,
Batman?
I didn't hit him. Like, yo, so
only one person here has beat the shit out of a homeless person?
I was born in New York. we need to unbox that. We need to unpack that.
Did we? That's
pretty
why
sure
that's why I didn't want to go in. I'm not sure if I've talked about it on the pod yet.
I'm pretty sure you did.
yeah.
I think I did on the
Which
very
episode?
First, I think I did it on the first episode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I think you did. I
shit.
think you did touch
yeah,
on
he was
that.
trying to break into my car.
I gotta watch that one. I haven't seen the first episode.
I don't know
yet.
if I talked
You
about it.
sleep.
Hey, if y'all
I'm
seen
sleep
the
on that
first
one.
leave in the comments
Listen.
if I have talked about my homeless beatdown before.
I think you might have. I think if you didn't talk about it, you touched on it because it's starting to ring a bell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
be
I've definitely told y'all about it off
Oh, well,
camera.
100%.
Yeah.
But we talked about a lot of shit on the first podcast.
Yeah, it was 2 hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to timestamp it. I'm gonna find it for y'all and put it in the comments.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's sick. Yeah. So I've been groped before, so it's like really hard for me to like want to.
Wait.
Delve into
Did
that.
you beat his ass?
Did you hit him?
No, so I was like, when I really when I stop around downtown and shit like that, like I have to be in a big group, but I fell back. Like that was my bad. Like I fell back from the group, so it looked like I was chilling by myself. So he had the bold audacity to do that. So I was born in New York. My family's from New York, so I know how to be a fucking bitch if I gotta be a bitch. I'm a nice person. I'm a Florida girl. I'm a beach girl. You know what I'm saying?
You
But
got that New York in you.
yeah, I can get some bass in my shit. You know
It's
what I'm
in
saying?
there.
So I was like, don't fucking blip me. I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, don't fucking play with me. And I brought my pepper spray. Didn't know how to fight back then, so I was like, man, I'll spray you right now.
Oh, you sprayed his ass?
No, I didn't spray him.
Oh,
because
you threatened to
yeah,
spray
I
him.
was like, and then I was like, guys, this motherfucking sicko was just trying to just grab my ass, and then like there was like guys in the group and like a bunch of like 4 other girls, and they all like broke their neck, and then he was like, no, I didn't, fuck you, bitch. Like he was like talking like that, and I was like,
Would have had to slap his ass.
None of the guys beat his ass?
down.
I would have thought the guys would have hopped in
Like
there.
down to
Yeah.
Orlando?
I would
Yeah, this
have
was-
been in there.
Downtown Orlando.
Like,
Oh,
bro.
so sketchy.
It's Gotham City. That's my
I
equivalent.
was wondering
You know
why
how it
you
gets
said
down in
Gotham. I
Gotham.
was like, where is that?
Yeah,
But
it's central. You know,
it totally is. That's a great descriptive word.
yeah,
for that.
and you know what? I bite the bullet and go to birthdays out there, but it'd be the same shit for me. That's why I said downtown Sanford. Okay.
yeah,
That's
downtown
lit.
Sanford is actually really nice. I've
Shout
only
out
been
to all my
once,
Sanford people.
but it's so different.
All my Seminole people.
Listen, I'm not shitting on Orlando. I'm just shitting on that the
Downtown.
nightlife in downtown because I've had great experiences, but it's just when you're being
Downtown.
harassed and there's shootings and there's fucking bullshit all
That's
the
why
time.
they had to put the curfew on. The 12 o'clock.
I don't think that stuck.
No, yeah, it didn't.
No, it didn't?
It definitely did not.
I didn't. What
Church
was
Street's
that
still
about?
open
That's how
till
long
2.
I've been-
Yeah.
What
it-
they did do, they kind of made it to where it's harder to stay open till 2. They made new licensing. You need a new
Oh.
'Cause
license.
I was gonna
to
say
stay
I've
open
definitely
till
been
2.
there past.
Which
Like,
costs money. And
Yeah, and it's like more expensive. Like it's
It's like
expensive.
raising
as
the rent on
shit.
you. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But it was like a crazy raise on the rent. Like I'm talking, I think it was like $2 million.
Oh.
Some shit like that. Someone was telling me about it.
Rest in
Dang.
peace. Saddle up. Saddle up. Yeah, that's what it's
Oh,
called.
they
Saddle
Yes,
Up.
that's
they
probably
closed down.
why.
closed.
That's
Yeah,
actually
that's what I'm
probably
saying.
why that
Yeah.
probably led to it.
That's what I heard.
Settle Up is a cool bar too. I like it.
Yeah, I like Settle Up.
Yeah, that's when I learned I need to box more because they had that punching bag in there. Remember that one?
What number you hit?
Yeah.
Can't remember because it was so trash. I can't disclose that. but there's a video of me actually trying to punch the bag, and I looked sorry as fuck. I'm like, yeah,
like
I can't share that, you know.
Like you're throwing a football.
I was like this. I was like dancing. I was like, wow. Wow.
Did not have the right one.
I noticed a lot of girls punch like they're throwing a football.
Girls do be going for the knife stab.
Like
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I think I did one of those. I think I did one of those.
I don't know. Maybe it's because most of them are shorter, so they're like punching up.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
That's not even an uppercut. I like that.
Yeah, bro. Imagine you're playing fighting with your girl, and she just wham your shit.
I'm on that type of time.
Do you take classes for boxing?
Right now, no.
Okay.
But, I will. I just want to do it with my friends. Right now, they're not really. They said they're gonna do it, but you know, when we make it out the group chat, I know it's real. So I just do it by myself.
It can get expensive. I tried doing it at Tidal for a little bit, and it was like,
damn.
I think it was like $80 a month or something just for
Bailey
me.
out here kicking ass too.
I love that.
I did, yeah.
Bailey,
I
you
did.
don't box?
Bailey, I'll do it
Bailey.
We
That's
can get
dope.
the family.
Yo, y'all can
membership.
spar.
That's dope.
I got money on jazz all day.
You box?
I'm sorry, Bailey.
You box?
It's been a
That's
while, but I
dope.
did take classes for a little bit.
Bro,
yeah.
no fucking
It's a really,
way.
really, really good workout.
Yes.
I sweat from every single pore of my body.
It comes back to our joke earlier. So
hit
now, like, you know how we were
cardio.
like,
Oh yeah.
wham, she's
Oh
gonna
my
be like,
God.
yeah, watch this.
It's so much fun too. It's so much fun, and
It is.
people think that I'm just a happy-going gal, but
Yeah, until that New York come out of you.
nah, like I realized I need to release this fucking aggression
Yeah, you
because
got
like
to. You
to
genuinely
me, I
should have
think
beat that
the-
dude's ass.
The best.
You should have beat his ass.
Should have
Huh?
straight up. That
Yeah,
homeless dude, he
Yeah.
ain't got nothing to lose.
Because if you say we got a problem, no problem.
Maybe a
Maybe
cup,
it's
but
you.
like
Oh,
he
what?
earned. He at that point, I mean, he kind of deserves it.
Yeah,
Let's be
the
honest.
homeless people downtown low key are unhinged sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And
Right. You ever been to Tallahassee?
I have not been partying.
You're not
there.
missing much.
Bruh.
You're not missing.
No,
I've
you're
never
not-
even been.
you're not missing
I'm a
much.
huge Gator fan though, so like I'll go to Gainesville, Tallahassee.
Gainesville's lit.
Listen,
You don't
I
like
was in a
Gainesville?
school. No. I had a great time, but it's definitely a party scene. So that's like the first time I made out with strangers in my life. Like this is like when I was like 18 years old, right out of high school.
That's right.
I somehow like got on a school bus to go to a party. I didn't know what was going on. I just somehow
School
it
bus.
just
Just
happened.
walked on the bus.
Exactly. That's what Gainesville's on. That's what Gainesville. I was at a party, but then
Yeah.
like they had a school bus to go somewhere else. I'm like,
I'm getting on.
yeah, didn't even go
Yeah,
there. I was
literally.
not a Gator. I was a Knight at the time, and you know,
Ain't
no one.
nothing wrong with
There was
that.
no questions asked. Well, actually, I was visiting my friend there, but she wasn't like, I don't even know how we got in the mix. But you know what's funny?
That's tough.
I know we've probably all been that story like when you make out with somebody in a club.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I didn't hear that many.
I mean, mine wasn't like specifically a club, but I've had those nights.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not a
unfortunately.
club.
These two
That was,
softies
like,
are
my
just
first-
afraid to admit it.
You
That
don't
was
know
like-
what you're getting into at the club.
No, you don't. So don't do that. I'm gonna say that right now, unless like
Wait. What's the problem with it?
I just feel like after COVID, I guess COVID's still going on, but you know,
It does
Hell-
feel.
Well, no,
like
COVID's not going on because the war in Ukraine's going on.
oh.
That shit's
Well,
overshadowed.
Hunter
COVID.
Biden's laptop.
That too. Everything.
Nobody talk about COVID now.
They shoved that shit under the
No
rug.
one
They're
talk
like,
about COVID
nah.
now.
That shit wasn't going
Nah,
platinum. They're like,
come
nah.
on.
That shit was
It
not.
might go
certain.
double
It
platinum.
wasn't selling no
I'm
more.
saying, yeah, hell no.
That's hilarious. That's a good
That's
analogy. I'm
crazy.
not gonna lie. That's a good
That shit
analogy.
was projected to go double platinum, and that shit just tanked.
Well, it hit double platinum multiple times.
I mean,
And
it was selling records. It was
Yeah.
definitely doing well. For
But then
a little
Ukraine
while,
came along and they were like,
Yeah, they had that hit. They had that number one.
number one for
They had
2
that
years
Billboard
now,
number
man.
one. Yeah, dude, I'm
Wow.
telling
Great
you.
New
anal-
record.
I'm inspired now. I'm gonna be using that analogy.
I love it. I
That's
love
sick.
it.
That's sick.
I just thought of that. It was funny.
All right, well, to bring
Fuck
things
COVID.
back a little bit to the business, just a little bit, because I want to talk about your fashion show. Because what was
Yes.
crazy to me about that whole thing, how long did you work? Like, how long before launching did you work on it? Like, how long before the show itself were you prepping?
Okay, so let me tell y'all right now, hosting a fashion show, being the person that's in charge of all the moving parts, and then having your pieces in it as well. It's another ball game. So
it came out nice.
Thank you so much.
Came out great.
As far as my pieces go, there was some that I had already made, and then there was some that I wanted to create to make it more cohesive. So I'd say, mind you, I travel a lot. I do a lot of different side quests. So collectively, it took me about, to do like a little more pieces, I'd say about 6 months. But mind you, I have like multiple sets of different things, which is awesome. I just haven't posted on my page because I've been so like hyper focused on the cultured Cubs aspect. This is why it's good to have a team in your business.
Yeah.
But doing the fashion show, I put on other local Orlando designers who were very talented as well. So that was really good.
That's dope.
Good to have. And one of the designers that were there, now she's one of my mentors. And I'd met her officially through putting on that event. So it truly was life-changing for me in the best way possible. That's awesome.
How long did it take to orchestrate, though?
I'm going to tell you right now, I was stressed as fuck every single day. I was pulling all-nighters. I was Uber eating at like 7 a.m. because I didn't go to sleep.
God.
Brooklyn Bagel. Great.
Hey, shout out Brooklyn Bagel.
Great establishment.
I've never had it.
Oh, my God.
I've never even heard of it.
You've never had Brooklyn
Until
Bagel?
now. Yeah.
It was near my old apartment, bro. It was right down the road on Lake Mary Boulevard.
So good. So
shout out Lake Mary.
Yeah. So I was doing different things and just orchestrating it. So I had a team as well, but they were kind of looking at me to like, answer questions, to do this, do that. And I'm like, oh my God, I realized like it's on me at this point. Like obviously having a team is good, but it was stressful as fuck.
There's only so much that you can do though by yourself. Like, I mean, it gets to a point where you need a little help.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. And so like they did come in clutch, so in clutch, but I had to realize that, there's a lot of moving parts. And that's why I said the team needs to be bigger. Because at first the team was not big. It was not. And I was like, I cannot do this. Like if I'm going to be in the show as well. And I was actually asked to be in the show. And if I hadn't have made the moves,
I was about to say, were you in the show?
That's what I was waiting to ask if you modeled in it.
No, I didn't model in it. But my designs are out there. But if I didn't take the initiative to take these extra classes to learn technical aspects of things, I wouldn't have said yes to the opportunity. I would not have said yes to the opportunity. And that's like how you can miss opportunities if you don't set yourself up for the greatness that you want to achieve in the future. Right. You can miss them. You can miss them heavily.
Of course.
That's like another big lesson this event has taught me. I had a lot of fun putting everything together. I learned a lot more about networking and sending more formal like emails, connecting with people in a more professional way too. It's awesome. I'm speechless. I'm truly speechless. And there were just mad, beautiful models there. And I'm just like, network.
The show out was impressive.
And even, yes.
Yeah.
This is another thing. Oh my gosh. Like the amount of people that came out for this event was really amazing. So I reached my quota for putting on the show. And so I actually profited off of putting on the show too,
awesome.
which I thought was amazing.
How did you promote the show?
That is so fucking phenomenal.
Ooh, yes. So by promoting the show,
a lot of it through Blue, right?
A lot of it was through Blue, and then personally, I sent out like over 100 invitations to different people.
Wow.
So like a lot of my people were in there too, and even like because it was local designers, a lot more people from Orlando that came out, and that was like our biggest thing marketing for Blue is that we wanted more locals to come because it's on an international drive, so it's very touristy.
Yeah, it's a really good spot to market at.
Yes. So I'm very grateful for that position. And to see that I was able to use my job that, I was doing something completely different in as something of one of my passions, I'm speechless. And I'm very, very, very grateful and blessed to have been put in that position, to even be like the person charging it too. I'm still trying to gather all of that.
That's awesome. It sounds like all the right pieces are falling into place for you.
Yeah, what's crazy is it kind of solidified that I can do this in a sense.
Oh yeah.
Because I have this saying. It's called "the only box I'm in is braids," and I say that a lot. I have box braids in right now, but it just it just helps me remind myself that just because I'm bartending, now doesn't mean I'll be doing that forever.
Of course
you know?
not. No.
And because I created this line now, it doesn't mean that I am limited to just creating only those pieces or only that technique in a sense. Don't get me wrong, you need to focus on what you're doing in order to excel at it, but it's okay to grow from it and do a lot more and elaborate.
Yeah.
And so it's beautiful.
Don't
to
be
see
scared
that.
to experiment.
Yeah. So, and I'm very into photography. I'm very into like editing different things, and it's like I'm learning that it's okay to like different things. You don't just have to hyper focus on one thing.
Right.
But for me, it's I'm a jack of all trades and a master of sewing. Like that's the season I'm in right now, and I'm loving it. But I won't say that sewing's the end all be all, because like I said, I think the biggest pandemic right now in the world is mental health. It really is. It's not talked about heavily.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's not talked about. It's not talked about enough.
Especially in America specifically.
Yeah.
The Western world in general, like Europe, America.
Yeah, and when I tell you, even like me putting on the fashion show and creating all these designs, I was stressed. I was stressed as fuck, and like I don't think it's talked about enough. Like people think that I'm happy all the time and but it's like no, like people go through real shit, like depressing ass shit. Like I was stressed as fuck every day. I had like I think 2 anxiety attacks, like that were really really bad. And thankfully, the community that I had, my friends, like the individuals. I'm gonna shout out my friend Elise. Shout out. Shout out Elise. There. She put on the fashion show with me. Like she ate that. Like man, great job. She was there because that's one individual that I'm very grateful to surround myself with, because when you need somebody to talk to and to ground you, you got to make sure you have that friend. Because like when you isolate yourself, like it can go downhill. Like it can go downhill right fast. I love that.
Aww.
It's my boy right here.
Yes.
Bailey's cool. Swear to God. Yeah, Bailey's alright.
Bailey, that's my girl. I just met her.
We keep her around.
She's cool. We keep her around.
She gives good content.
So I actually want to
Bailey.
ask, what is sustainable? Like, what's the sustainable aspect of your company?
Okay.
I thought that was really cool that you mentioned that.
Yes. So we live in a world of fast fashion. Shein's actually getting sued right now because they're stealing creators' ideas, and they got. It's funny. They got caught with a RICO case, and that just means like you think it's like more of like like drugs and shit.
I was just about to say
a RICO case is just what is it? It's
like federal like shit government, right? No,
yes,
the feds get involved.
It's an organized crime with different groups. That's what it means. Yes, yes. So it's an organized crime with different groups.
Shein's on an organized crime wave.
Yeah, because it's a lot of moving parts. So and they weren't sustainable, so they were just like manufacturing new fabrics, new threads, and then when it's fast fashion, say they saw my design, I made this beautiful macrame dress. They can make it in they can make it in multitudes and sell and sell it for a dime, because they're not a dime. They can sell it for very very cheap because they're paying people very very cheap, and then they're manufacturing more things. Fast fashion's true, and then it just ends up in the trash or it ends up at the thrift store. So
100%.
Where it comes to me, I source I source a lot of different fabrics from thrift stores and like estate sales, because people pass away and you'll see like a bunch of fabric just there. So like I source things from like that.
Oh, that's awesome. So you like upcycle everything.
Yes.
So everything's one of a kind.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Or make multiples, but it's like that. It is what it is. So.
Right.
And then like I also like hand paint a lot of different things too onto clothing. So like that's another aspect. But
won't
that's
one of
like
a kind be an issue going for like in the future though, as you get bigger? If you're only selling one of a kind.
Right. So that is.
I feel like that's to an extent at least. Well, because as far as like I don't mean like as far as like art goes, like if you're making like a one of a kind, but like she's becoming bigger, I feel like you could then sell that one of a kind piece for more.
Yes. So
that's why I said
even
there's
with
like,
even with the stuffed animals, people are saying that I should be selling it for twice as much. I could just have 3 digits on it.
Right.
And I don't disagree with them, but I want to make sure that it's quality.
Yeah,
like I said, like I'm not saying that they're like the most perfect things, but they're durable and they're dope. You know what I'm saying? But I know that I can make it to a point where I'm learning too, and as I'm learning, I'm actually perfecting it super good. So
it's all part of the journey.
Correct. So I just wasn't afraid to put myself out there initially. So I don't care what the price is right now. I'm just happy that I'm fucking doing it. So like whatever.
What does an average Untamed Culture piece go for?
right? Well, for
Y'all
the
keep asking all the questions.
Like if I want to get a
ask,
shirt
bro.
from Untamed Culture, how much?
if you want to get a shirt from Untamed Culture right now, I don't have any for sale. I have
If I want to get a dress from Untamed Culture,
so the handmade macrame ones that I make, they're ranging over $100 because I hand stitch them too.
Okay.
Yes.
How long does a piece take you?
So for the dresses themselves, it's really hard to gauge sometimes because I fuck up.
I mean, yeah, it happens.
I'd say probably like maybe 2 hours if I'm like very focused, because I run my own business. Like I'm not clocking it like that, and that's a really good question because I want to come back with like a very firm answer. I can tell you that for the cultured cubs, it takes me, because I hand stitched them right now, it takes me about an hour and a half to do those. But I'm learning techniques on how to do it with my sewing machine.
How much is my duffel bag gonna be?
Oh, it's okay. You got the UTC Love discount. Don't even worry about it.
Okay, but assume we're not friends. How much?
Okay, the duffel bag right now I'm selling them for $60 online, and then when I'm at the markets, I sell them for $45.
That's a very good price.
Yeah, but
no,
people,
I swear I thought you were about to say something.
You should
so
definitely raise
higher.
that. Like a Nike duffel bag is like $70, $80.
Yeah,
correct. People looking at like raising their eyebrow like, but it's because I love it.
And Nike's mass produced.
But if people want it, like people will buy it. That's what works for you too. Is that if you make something so unique,
that's why it should be like 100, 150.
I'm gonna make them a lot more because.
But you're also small, so you gotta like. Respectfully,
I'm getting,
you know what I mean.
Thank you. I'm getting my name out there right now, so I was discounting it, but people have told me multiple times. So this is just also
don't be scared.
I feel like that's the toughest part of that, because you can feel like something should be worth, like, let's say like $300, right? But like back to what we were saying, since you're trying to come up, and people are obviously going to look at it like, well, I can get this Nike bag.
Here's my counter argument on that as far as business goes. If so. Yes, you're coming up, but it's easier to sell to rich people than it is to sell to poor people.
And honestly,
regardless of the price.
Regardless.
Rich people like unique shit.
When I tell you, I do so well online. Like when I drop them online, I instantly sell and they buy it for the price that I have online. When I raise the price to $60, I still sold them. So I know I know that I can raise the price. I know I can take it there.
Do it.
Like in person.
Do it.
I will. Okay.
Now in person at these markets, I can see what you're saying.
This little girl hustled me. She hustled me. I sold her one, and I don't regret it, but man,
don't let them hustle you.
Man, she bought one for $25 because she's
sick.
She said I got cancer.
I'm sick. Listen.
I'm saying.
She hustled me, but it was more of like she was pulling my heartstrings. She was telling me how she had just had a garage sale and all she had on her was $25, but she had worked really hard. And she liked that. She liked
Get the fuck,
own
bro.
Garage
fuck out of my face with that.
It was one of my favorite ones, and like in my head, I was like, I'm gonna sell this for so much money. And then I think that was a test. And I failed.
But that's learning.
But you learn from your mistakes.
That's learning. Yeah, but I genuinely think if you made like $100 to $150 pieces, not only is it easier, like I said, to sell to a rich person, like someone that can afford that piece is more likely to buy it than someone that can barely afford a $40 piece. You know what I mean?
Right.
So not only that point, but also people like to have better things than others, and if they see a higher price tag, they're like, "This is a superior."
Well,
item.
Especially in today's society, with everyone
everyone wants to flex.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know
thank you.
Like,
that's what I was looking for.
Like someone says, especially your pieces, they stick out. They're unique. People, I wish we started talking about this earlier. This is fucking fire. I hope people stuck around. But
of course they stuck around. What you mean?
But like, if people got like a unique piece of yours on, someone's gonna be like, "Yo, where the hell did you get that?" And they're gonna be like, "Oh, from here." They're gonna be like, "How much?" They're gonna be like, $150. You know what I mean? They're gonna be flexing that price.
They're gonna be like, "Oh shit!"
Just a little hundo 50 I dropped in. You know what I'm saying? Just another day.
That's not unique. You can't find this anywhere,
bro. It's like when people get a Louis Vuitton belt. They're like, "Yo, how much was that Louis Vuitton belt?" $300. You know what I mean? They like to flex that price tag. So you get that factor too. And especially since you're in like a unique fashion design where like if you're a Nike, you want to be like a Walmart of fashion. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where you're just pushing product constantly. Like that's one thing to like, you can lower prices because mass production, yada, yada, and you're just selling to everybody. But in your industry with it being so unique and niche, that's where that extra money comes in, that extra price tag.
I love that. And yeah.
So I say next piece 150.
And needless to say, you're not trying to be like a Nike like Walmart. Like,
it sounds like you want to be like a Louis Vuitton almost.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like you want to be like high fashion.
It's very curated, and if you like it, you love it. And if you don't like it, you don't love it. That's okay.
Right.
And because I have been humbled by rejection so many times, and it's not even just in the business world. So it's taught me so much to just not give a fuck. And I'm learning to do that more consistently, and to value what you're doing and put it out there, because there's somebody that will buy it. There's somebody that will buy it. And that's,
I feel like a big thing to remember too in the type of industry that you're in is to like not give a fuck to an extent. Like as far as like, you can't focus too much on what people are going to like think, I guess, because you can be looking at a piece, right, and think like, you know, I don't know, like, you know, I love it. I don't know if it's gonna sell. I don't know if it's gonna do that well. And then you see like another piece, and you're like, I think this one's gonna be the one that really sells, and then it winds up being the complete opposite.
That you thought was trash sells fast.
See, I make music, and so that's how I've always thought. Like nice. I've made
Water Whipping. You said you hated that song, and it was your most viral song.
Yeah, I did not think. I went to the studio, and this is such a cool story. I wrote Whippin' hour before I went to the studio, and I had written the other song like a day or a few days, you know what I mean. So I went to the studio, and the first song was called Benz, and I honestly thought that song was gonna be like, I was like, this one's gonna do it, right? I recorded Whippin', and Whippin' I actually took, or I was quicker recording Whippin' than I was recording Benz. And I think I put them both out like on like the same night, same day type shit, like just like, oh yeah, these are my songs, like, go peep it, whatever. And dude, it's so cool because I never would have thought this shit happened. I didn't promote it. People were like joking with me, oh, you probably just kept it on repeat. Like I didn't do any of that shit. I slept over at my boy Antoine's house, and there was probably like a week or two after I dropped it, probably more or less 2-3 weeks. And it had like, like decent thousand, like probably like 3,000, 6,000. And I'm already like, yo, like, holy shit. Like, this is crazy, right? Tight. I go to my boy Antoine's crib and we hang out, whatever. I stay the night there. I wake up. That song has 23,000 listens.
Whoa. Yeah.
And I'm like,
huge. What platform did you
I had it on SoundCloud.
It's back on SoundCloud.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
This was definitely like prime SoundCloud, like, but like
everybody was listening to
yeah,
SoundCloud,
you know what I'm saying? All them.
Uzi Kodak.
I still got mine.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then I would just check, like, a few days later, went up to like 78,000. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? And
isn't that like 200,000 now?
No,
it peaked it's at about 200.
I think it's at 154,000.
You know what I love about your story the most is that you shared it.
Mm-hmm.
You shared it. I think a lot of the time, with creatives is we have so much shit, but we don't share it. We don't speak on it. We're silent.
To be honest, yeah, like it's so funny because that's why I feel like I can relate to you so much, because I don't make music as much as I would love to, but it kind of goes back to like what you were saying. Like I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my music because I take it very seriously. Like I have such a love and a strong passion towards it that like I hear certain, like, I don't try and be like too, what's the word I'm looking for? Like hard-headed, for lack of a better word, I guess. Like when I listen to new music, cause I like rap. So like I'll make the type of like shit that's kind of like popping right now, but I love that like aggressive wordplay. Like, you know what I mean? So
Kendrick, Eminem,
you know what I mean?
Shit,
yeah, like Lil Wayne, Mac, like, A$AP, like just all of them, Nipsey. So I try and make rap like that.
You said Gucci?
No, Nipsey.
Oh, I was
Hustle.
Like,
and to me, that sort of like you hear, like respectfully, like you hear certain bigger artists. I'm not gonna name any, but like the ones that are kind of like popping, like they can. I know, but I'm just not going to because I'll go on a tangent. And they can make like 100 songs, but like you hear about these certain other artists, and it actually takes them time. And obviously, teach their own. Like it's gonna take somebody a different time to do something as opposed in anything with life. You know what I mean?
I got a story about that one too regarding the fashion show.
And
Well,
just either and to make a long story short, essentially, like I just take like I feel like too like anything that I'm gonna put out isn't gonna produce or be as good as like I'm in, like, because I go back and listen to songs that like in the moment I was like, yeah, like this is gonna be another good one, and I listen back to it and I'm like, what the fuck. But to your point earlier about like, you know, you work on one piece and then you look back and you're like, you know, well, I don't know if you said this verbatim, but like kind of you were like the
improvement.
Yeah, exactly. Like like you learn and you get better as you continue to grow and perfect your craft, but it's a matter of actually staying on top of it, practicing it. Actually, you know what I'm saying? I'm not that way, but I would love to be. You'll grow into it. I personally just genuinely am so like scared to drop music now because I really just want it to be good. And that's my biggest thing. And like I'll go to write something and I'll write like a decent amount and I'll start doing it and I'm like, I don't know, like it's just, you know what I mean? But it's kind of back to what you're saying too. I beat myself up a lot. You have to remember this. Just being able to have the ability to create something is magic in itself. Yeah. So you have to own that. You have to own that at the end of the day, because the majority of people are not doing that. Right. You know, doing it the way that you might be doing it, which is what I've been trying to tell myself, because I know that certain people are making this type of shit, and I'm trying to do it kind of differently to an extent. Most definitely. Just the fact that you have the ability to create something is a gift in itself. So you need to share. You need to share. You need to share. Thank you. You need to share. So
what did you say? Be seen trying.
Yes, you can't be afraid to be seen trying. Exactly. And I've learned it's funny because I would not post anything I did creatively because I didn't want to be seen trying. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be seen doing it, even though I was doing it now for over a decade. I've been doing it for over a decade now. Shit, when you really sit back and think about it, the first thing I ever made was like 2013. 2013. It's been a decade, and now I'm actually posting my shit. And like it's just crazy to see how much I've grown and like how much more I'm like just in it. Right. And there's still things that I haven't shared that I made it, but like I'm learning. I'm like, just post it, just share it, like just do it.
You're gonna sell it for $150 a piece.
Yeah. It's sick, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and then you come more into like I'm worthy.
And
like,
it's risk versus reward too. Like you're never gonna find out what it can be or what it can do if you don't put it out. Like you know what I mean? Like you can have the best shit. Music, design, anything.
And if it don't hit, it don't hit.
No, and
you move on to the next.
And that's that's also what my problem is that I don't want to just be like a one hit wonder. Although it'd be nice to have like that, like another whipping, like that'd be dope to have, but like a better version of it. You know what I mean? Like to where it's more, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess like feasible. Like I can do more shit with it, or just I don't know, like just better.
I think the basis of one hit wonders comes down to
consistency afterwards.
Consistency, most definitely, and then it's I think what really stops them is trying to be perfect or trying to get that same level of like excellence.
To be honest with you, that's what I think really is why I have such a problem making music now, because and I'm not trying to, like, I'm very humble about my shit. Like, genuinely, like, I don't brag about it. I don't talk about it. I think I'm a pretty decent rapper. Like, I think I can actually, like, spit pretty well, but I don't brag about it. And I have a song that has 154,000 plays. I mean, that's a decent amount of fucking plays. Like, I mean, for someone that just, so, but with that being said, I think that I know it fucked my mental because people started calling me by my rap name, 3 God, 3, all this shit. And I got like, kind of like that, like, nervousness, anxiety, like whenever I'd go out, like, oh, someone might see me, someone might know me or whatever. But then it gets to a point where it's like, all right, well, people want me to now drop more music, want me to make more music. And obviously, a song like that, I mean, I've been told it's not that great of a song.
You should drop more music.
It has a good rhythm. Thank you. I know I should. But I
start today.
It just genuinely I will. I need to go home and write some shit after this.
Period.
But like,
after throwbacks.
After it did that, after throwbacks.
Oh, it's called throwbacks.
Shout out to Downtown Sanford. But like genuinely, like all joking, like seriously, like that shit really did fuck with my mental, because I'm like, damn, because ever since then, it still blows my mind. Like, I have no idea how that song got that many plays. And every time I go to write a song, I'm like, well, fuck, like, do I try and use like this same formula? Do I try and switch it? I'm also the type of like artist where I don't want to consistently drop the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
multiple flows.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, literally. I don't want to just make like the same album like a lot of these new rappers do. Like they make these same sounding fucking albums and it just gets so fucking boring to listen to. It's just like, where is the wordplay? Where is the actual like intelligence? Like where does that play in? The creativity?
Okay.
Like just saying the same shit, you know? Like,
I want you to hear your stuff right now, but what it sounds like is no one's heard your perspective, your voice, because you're not sharing your stories.
Right, you haven't dropped a song.
So from that,
I have a strong passion towards this shit too.
No, and I so we hear that.
I've been meaning to get into this,
and I hope you hear yourself too.
Yeah,
I really.
Well, that's my problem too. Is that I'm really good at like speaking it out, but I'm not. I'm so terrible at like actually like putting in the effort and actually like coming to fruition with like recording a song and then like actually like doing it. Like I get like I literally go to do it, and like I said, I just get like. I overthink.
You have to remember this. So I like to say this a lot. I sit in at my own lectures because it sounds like you're really good at, motivating others and doing that, but you have to sit back and actually remember what you just said.
Right.
Because like you just said, I sometimes sit there, I'm like, I don't believe in myself. Like, should I do the same shit?
I
like,
don't, yeah.
I like look at the bears and I'm like, this is a lot of fucking work. I won't do it.
I feel you. Yeah, no, I feel you. I just have such a hard time with that. Like, genuinely, like, it's just so, like.
That's what growth. It's
but
okay.
It's so funny because, like I said, it's like the risk versus reward. I'm just too scared to, like, put anything out.
But that's what I'm saying. Honestly,
I shouldn't be. Because I know I can do it.
I do not care about rejection anymore because if it is what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Like, I'm learning. It's gonna happen
regardless.
It's gonna happen regardless, but you have to be grateful for what you do have because even for me, like,
you have to use it to your advantage too.
Yeah, facts.
That was my problem. I didn't use that to my advantage at all. I'm single as
fuck, but like I love that for me. I love that for me so much because I wouldn't be where I am today if I did not go through what the fuck I've been through. You know,
right.
I feel like it's a blessing, like being in the bag where it's just like, fuck that. Like, so what if you don't want to like get to know me as me? Like, it is what it is because I know me now.
Right.
Like, and that's why I love so much about like the journey I've been on. And I think that goes to show that like why I pushed myself so much to do more for myself is because I was able to realize that it's going to take me to do it.
You gained a lot of self-love.
It wasn't exactly. I wasn't as codependent because I'd be in these codependent relationships, but it'd be more like I'd be the person you call, and now I'm your fucking therapist. Mm-hmm. You don't know what the fuck's going on with my life, but you don't even care to ask because I'm there helping you.
Same way.
I'm there helping you. So like I was in that headspace for a very, very, very long time, and I learned that lesson too many fucking times. And then it came to a point where I'm like, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna do me. I'm going to live my best life, and it's helped me so much. And man, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's why I'm able to just move differently and not be so codependent on or rely on someone else for my happiness or for my inspiration, because I'm able to meet different people and open up to different people and not rely on one sole person who is a narcissist, by the way.
Shout out.
That's a great way to look at it, though, because you're creating your clothing and you're creating your music. It should be for you, not for
It's crazy.
It should be for you.
It was honestly crazy to like
and
watch this here because it's two different avenues, but at the end of the day, it is art in the way that like your art.
I've been meaning to say all of that this entire podcast because ever since you started talking about that, I was like,
I'm so happy you shared your story because we all can relate, you know. At the end, we all can relate. It's universal. It's universal. And once you share your story, you can realize, well, I'm like, wow, I'm not the only person going through this mentally.
Right.
So, there's a way to overcome it.
All right, y'all. We do have to wrap it up. We are out of time.
Such a good podcast.
To end things real quick, I like to do this. What do you got for the people? What's your little message for the people?
That's what I was just about to say.
Just a quick 30-second message for the people. Let them know the most important thing you think they should take out of what you have to offer. Insight. Maybe just go to untamedculture.com.
Motivating.
Yes. So I would like to think that I do have a brilliant mind, and what's behind my brilliance is to really, really, really take the time to get to know who you are as a person and to be yourself. I know that could be cliche, but if you really sit down and realize that you are different and you have a different voice and perspective, that it could be like a universal thing that morally that everybody's going through, but you have your own story and you have to be seen at the end of the day. You have to be seen. That goes for creatives. That goes for people that are just trying to communicate. You need that community. And if you take anything away from this podcast, go to untameculture.shop.
There we go.
Give us the plug.
Hey, sorry I just raised all our prices on y'all, but
Yeah.
After being on Otown Talk, baby, gotta raise the price. Come on now.
Honestly, type in the code UTC Love and you'll get a discount.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
Real quick, actually, because that was great. But one last thing I want to say real quick. It's what you said about be yourself, be unique, and like where it will take you and all that. That's actually kind of what we focused on with this pod. That's kind of why we didn't capitalize on like a niche itself, because we are the niche. We are our own individuals, and we
plus
bring
we have two
something.
redheads.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
what is that?
That's what I'm saying. This is such a good podcast. Please, please, please tune in. Please tune in. Turn the notification bell on. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Love it. Well,
amazing.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, leave a like if you like the video. Make sure you subscribe, especially if you made it this far. If you don't, well, you just wasted your own time at that point.
You gotta be
missed a great podcast if you didn't make it.
Hey, if you hated Jasmine, you can also dislike it.
Okay, I don't mind being rejected. I'm used to it.
And leave in the comments whatever you think, topics you might want to hear for the future. I was gonna say guests you want to have, but we're not clouded there yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But hey, subscribe and get us there,
I'm
and
trying to see
then we'll have that
here.
guest on.
One
day,
Still
baby.
let us know who you want to see on the Otown Talk podcast, and we'll make it happen eventually.
And turn those notifications
On.
I love that. All right. All of our social media is in the description. You can find it all there, along with Jasmine's, as well as a link to her website.
Make sure y'all go check it out
stuff.
and follow Jazz.
Definitely check that shit out. I've seen it myself. She's got some awesome stuff out there. The fashion show was
to go
amazing.
shopping.
And go buy something.
Yes.
The girls were
Thank
looking
you.
good in the clothes they had on. So ladies out there, make sure you go get some. And guys and girls, those bags you got are fire. And I'm about to have myself a Lion duffel bag for the gym.
Let's go.
Can't wait.
Thank you guys for
Hell
tuning in.
That's
Have a
hype.
good one. New episodes every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday at noon, baby. Y'all stay
on.
tuned. We out. Fucking
Here we go.
amazing.
Fucking
bro.
fire.
So fun. That was
Get some energy.
Yeah, see, I don't know what happened. Bro, this
Buddy
is
was
the
like,
latest we
Welcome
ever
back
started to
the Otown
shoot.
Talk podcast.
This was the latest we
have
ever
Jasmine
started to
here.
shoot, bro. I had to wake up as we were shooting. Like throughout the pod, I started waking up.
Make sure
But
you
usually-
like, comment,
We started
and
shooting at
subscribe.
like 7.
If you want, you
At the
can turn
latest.
the
All right,
notifications
shut the
on.
fuck up. It wasn't that bad. All right. All right.
What
It was bad. It was short. That was my main thing. I didn't have that energy. I felt myself not have that energy. I'm like, let's just cut to
The
it.
thing
all
I
right?
love the most is that you said it, because literally when you were
Well,
doing
call me the fuck out, Brayden. We're business partners. Call me out.
motherfucker, we were in the middle of a fucking podcast.
If my intro sucks, you can literally be like, hey, that intro sucked. Let's start over.
no, but that's what
I would do it to you if you were doing the intro. I'm calling you a dumbass out.
I was going to, but you beat me. You were like, when we got that cut, you're like, I think we need to redo it. That's why I was like,
But that was 10 minutes later. I need you to call it out on the spot. That way we don't get 10 minutes. Sorry, you have to sit here for our business discussion.
I'd rather because like we
No, I
can-
want. If I fuck up, call
You
me.
want
out
me
on
to do
the
it
spot.
right then?
On the
Okay.
fucking spot.
Alright.
Because you know what I mean.
No, I know, but
You
I was
see
saying
what
like, did it like this way too. So
I,
like,
I would have rather just cut it right
That's
after.
what I'm saying. I got you. No, I got you.
Yeah, call me out.
Yeah,
I don't bite, Brayden.
No, I wish you would. Let's go.
Couple reps. Now I'm
I was
spicy.
about to say, let's go on a pumping.
All right, are we shooting? You already started it.
Chest
So
supported
whatever. Okay,
dumbbell.
cool. Hey, some bloopers. I like that.
Oh, yeah, we love
that. All right. Well, welcome back to the Otown.